let's really get into the flow of this show. Remember to always wash your hands, kids. The bounces don't always go the way you want them to. So clean yourself up and show us some love. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sportsnight. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. And this show is going to be bittersweet, but probably a little more bitter than sweet.
Yeah, as everyone is aware by now, we have hit pause on all sports throughout the state of Minnesota due to the continuing spread of the virus. And that means big question marks for all high school winter sports that were already delayed but ready to start at the beginning of December, now at least till the middle or end of the month, and more likely into the first part of next year.
Yeah, I've heard a number of different things. And I think the 19th is kind of the day where things could start up again.
Early as possible.
Yeah, as early as that's the earliest possible. But I've heard a lot of things that January is more likely than anything else.
And we will just have to, keep our fingers crossed that some sort of winter season is salvageable for all athletes at all levels, but certainly for the class of 2021. This has just been such a wild ride, and they're missing so much, and we want to make sure that, we bring as much as we can when we are able to.
Yeah, without question, and certainly with the kids, I feel so badly for them. And again, they went through this before, and now all of a sudden they're going through it again, and they'll bounce back quite obviously, but it's going to take some time.
Well, and the football team went into last week with a playoff schedule.
Yep.
Of course, when the announcement was made on Wednesday, it meant one playoff game was all they would get.
At least they got the one, and that was more than at the beginning of the season they thought they were going to get.
That's very true. Cardinals knew that Thursday's game in Cambridge would be the last of the year, win or lose, so they were ready to put it all on the line. The Blue Jackets were coming off a stunning upset over previously unbeaten Tartan and were led by a running back that the Cardinals knew would be tough to contain. The winner would finish as the season as the section runner-up. Cambridge Isani is a run team, but they strike early through the air. Connor Broughton finds Andre Hall behind the defense, stays in bounds and takes it 66 yards for the score. Blue Jackets on the board less than a minute into the game. Cardinals did see a healthy dose of Gavin Zebarth. He had a 30-yard touchdown to stretch the lead midway through the second. Then he outraces the entire defense for this 70-yard score to put the Jackets up 19-0 at the half. Cardinals get on the board on the first play of the second half. Jordan Doe going over the top and hitting Sonny Tao in stride. No chance to catch him. A 50-yard score, part of a career night for Sonny. Still, the Cardinals not finding a way to stop number 9. Zebarth on the pitch this time, finds a seam, and he's gone again. This one is a 71-yard touchdown run. His third trip to the house made it 26-8, and we're still early in the third quarter. Next possession, another touchdown. This time it's Cyrus Matson finding a hole and heading home for a 14-yard score, 32-8, Cambridge Isani. Cardinals have a stud running back as well, and David Jeebley had a respectable night running the ball. He picks up 20 on this carry, part of a 96-yard effort. Coon Rapids going play action, and Doe is going to hook up with Sonny Tao again. Another score, this one from 14 yards out. Tao had 6 catches for 112 yards and a pair of scores. Zebarth added 2 more touchdowns early in the fourth from 3 and 38 yards. He had 339 yards on 33 carries and 5 touchdowns for the second game in a row. Coon Rapids down but not giving up. Jordan Doe's 12-yard score in the fourth cut the lead to 45-22 midway through. Then Doe throws his third touchdown of the night. This time, Dominic Oldeman able to break a tackle, spin free, and sprint to the stripe. A 21-yard catch and run. Cut the lead to 17 with 5 minutes left. But that's all the closer it would get. Blue Jackets hold on for the 45-28 win.
Wasn't a great first half for the Cardinals, quite obviously, and they dug themselves into a hole. They did a nice job of trying to dig out of that, but when you've got a guy like Devin Zebarth across the line from you, he was so difficult to bring down, and he really dominated that game and played really well. And
33 touches, and he still averaged 10 yards a carry.
It's just amazing.
5 touchdowns.
Amazing.
In the win over Tartan, he had 4 rushing touchdowns on 200 20 or 30 yards, and he had 2 catches for 39 yards and another score. So he had 10 touchdowns in his last 2 high school games. The University of Minnesota Duluth's getting a good one.
They're getting a very good one. He did it on the outside. He did it on the inside. It was very impressive.
Unfortunately for the Cardinals, as you mentioned, dug a hole, not able to dig out of it. It's an unceremonious end regardless of the situation. But with the loss, Cambridge Isani does become the section runner-up. Andover, who was unbeaten during the season, is the Section 7 default champion. Volleyball team played 3 matches since last we were on the desk here. One of them against one of the top teams around, Champlain Park. Dealt with them relatively quickly, 25-12, 25-11, and 25-11. 5 kills in the match for Becca Masteller. I think as a team, they only had like 10 total kills against the Rebels. Seda Green did have 3 aces, a couple of blocks for Nicole Post, Michaela Wilbur, 2 kills, 6 digs, and a couple of assists.
Well, the Cardinals were able to close out the season with a couple of matches on their home court, starting with a visit from Spring Lake Park on Monday. The Cardinals were looking to avenge a 4-set loss to the Panthers in the season opener. They knew it would be a tight match that could go either way, and every point would count. Coon Rapids getting the start they wanted. Audrey Anderson's ace helps her team secure a 25-21 win in the opening set to take control. But the Panthers, they do come right back. Anderson serving in the second. Panthers able to turn it nicely, set up near side for Kayla Hoiby. She hammers it cross court for the score. Spring Lake Park wins the second, 25-15. Panthers carry the momentum through the third. Haley Klein attacking from the left side, right down the line for the winner. Spring Lake Park takes the 2-1 lead with a 25-15 win in the third. Cardinals fighting to stay alive in the fourth. It was a huge defensive effort you saw there for Post, one of her 8 blocks. That puts the Cards in position to win. They bring the Thunder. Becca Masteller attacking in the middle and getting one of her team-high 15 kills. Cards force a 5th set. It's back and forth in the 5th. Chloe Hoffman poking this one across for a critical side out, but they don't get quite enough. The Panthers able to squeak out the win at the end. Klein with the winner on match point. Panthers win at 15-11 in the 5th. And unfortunately for the Coon Rapids Cardinals, they got out to that 1-0 start, but couldn't regroup after that.
Well, and it went the distance, and
it did.
Shapiro was calling all the action solo.
All the action solo.
A phenomenal
so much
job,
follow.
by the way.
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
I couldn't have done better
stood
myself.
Me up.
So, but it would have loved to have seen them get the win, but you stretch it to 5, you play well, 5 close sets.
Yep.
You come up, unfortunately, on the short side. But the last game of the season, due to the pause, was on Wednesday night, and the Cardinals took care of Park Center after the Pirates won the opening set 25-22. The Cardinals come back and win 28-26, 25-17, and 25-18. 3 players with double-digit kills, led by Michaela Wilbur with 19. Another great night at the net for Nicole Post with 4 more blocks. Also had 5 aces and 40 assists. I double-checked that. I said, am I
You gotta be right.
Am I sure that's assists and not assist attempts? It was assists, 40 assists.
Amazing.
And Audrey Anderson had 15 digs. Seda Green also had 11, and Michaela Wilbur had 16. Nice night for her, 19 kills, 16 digs. And most importantly, they get the win. And again, we go back to an unceremonious end. There is no time to get into a playoff. They were actually supposed to have, I believe, their final regular season game was supposed to be tonight.
Correct.
And that obviously was lost due to the pause. But they got in most of the schedule they were given. Of course, there was a little hiccup there in the middle where things were going to be paused and then weren't, and now everybody's pausing. And sad, but it's better than nothing.
They knew it was going to be their last match against Park Center, and it was great that they closed it out with a win. They were also to kind of be able to honor the seniors on that night, which was nice. And it wasn't obviously the way they wanted it to be, but the fact that they were able to honor those seniors and congratulate them for the careers they had at Coon Rapids, love to see that.
Yeah, and throughout communities are all around us, teams and communities have been scrambling to put together sports for their their kids that were not able to. I'm sure that there were extra basketball leagues and things added, people that were getting involved over these last couple of weeks when it would normally be that winter season. Wrestling matches, the wrestling tournaments being organized that normally would be during the high school season. All of these communities have been doing something to get kids still the opportunity to play in any way they can, and up until that decision was made. For Coon Rapids, they organized an abbreviated season they called the Bridge Season with some of the local communities, utilizing the ice that the booster clubs had already paid for, was supposed to be for captains' practices, and now, rather than see it go to waste, invited the other teams so that they could play, got officials, so it's a full game, not even, not as much a scrimmage, and, watching the Cardinals this year, the hockey team was fun. They played really well in these last couple of weeks, playing against a lot of teams that are of their level. Seeing instead of seeing the Maple Groves and Blaines and Champlain Parks, they were playing North Branch, St. Francis, Cambridge, and this past Friday played Anoka, and they've played very well. And at least they got that in before things were paused.
Yeah, and that was a good thing for the boys hockey team, able to get on the ice, get a little time, because nobody knew what was in store.
And no one knows what's going to be next.
Well, yeah, and then obviously the pause came, and now you're right, nobody knows what's going to be next at this point. So the fact that they were able to get a bridge game or a club game, in on CTN was nice, because it gave an opportunity to recognize the seniors, and I think that was really important.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, and just an excellent job by both the Coon Rapids hockey boosters and the Anoka hockey boosters, that when the announcement was made on Wednesday, they said, we're going to make a big deal out of Friday's matchup, because Coon Rapids has 15 seniors.
Crazy.
Anoka has 12. So they made it extra special, turned it into a ipso facto senior night, so that we could at least give them a good send-off in case this is indeed the only season they get during their senior year. So the Cardinals came in strong. They had beaten St. Francis on Tuesday and Cambridge Isani on Thursday, and they wanted to finish strong when they welcomed Anoka on Friday. Everybody was hoping there will still be a season, but playing like there's no tomorrow. 15 seniors, as I mentioned, on the Cardinals roster, another 12 for the Tornadoes, and they would all be fighting for a win in what could be their last game as high school players. Cardinals fly to the lead right away. Opening minute, stretch pass gets Nathan Clark behind the defense, cuts across, finds a 5-hole. Coon Rapids to a quick start. Anoka answers late in the first. Beautiful setup. Cole Keller slides it to Michael McGonigal for the one-timer. Great finish, and it's tied at 1 after 1. Another quick goal to start the second. Great work by Derek Avery on the forecheck. He finds Kamani Poor for the easy redirect. Cards back in front 2-1. Still early second. Delayed penalty coming up. Nate Clark plays it to the net, and he finds a 5-hole again. That gives Coon Rapids a little bit of a cushion. And Clark competes the hat trick before the period ends on the power play. Tried to feed it out front, then knocks it out of the air. Another look at this one in slow motion. Nate's a baseball player too, showing the hand-eye coordination on the belt-tie swing. 4-2 Cardinals after 2, and they stretch the lead in the third. Derek Avery able to split the defenders and shoot back to the far side, just inside the post. That makes it a 3-goal lead. Avery again, this time drawing the defender. A beautiful saucer pass to Ethan Hansen for the quick one-timer. All of a sudden, Cards are up 6-2. And they weren't done. Derek Avery had an outstanding game, just working the defense right here. Shot doesn't go, but Alex Billy is right there to put home the rebound. Anoka got a couple late to make it more respectable, for the Cardinals with a solid 7 for a victory, and they get to celebrate a nice finish to the Bridge season and go into the pause, hoping there will be some kind of actual high school season before this group is gone.
I unfortunately wasn't able to be there, Joe, but I heard from a number of different people what a great atmosphere it was, and what a great game it turned out to be, and it was so cool the boys got the win, and to end that season before the pause
on a streak.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've been
3 wins in 4 days,
and they've been scoring goals.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
This group, this is a group that I obviously am very familiar with. I've coached many of them, known most of them for a decade or more. It is been really exciting to see how they've played over these last couple of weeks when they were able to play, because you see things that they're doing that just come with the maturity level of having been in the game, understanding it more. Things like Derek Avery, a perfect example in that game. The first one was just grit. Go down there, forecheck, battle, get the puck, draw the defense, find the open guy. His assist to Ethan Hansen, after he had split the defenseman, take that puck wide, draw the defender over, and give your teammate a lane, and then just put it in there for him. So it's great to see those guys figuring out the game, and they were really starting to click and play well within their systems.
And how fun was it for you to watch your son Aaron play and to be out there and being a part of it, knowing I know how well hockey is important to you, and the fact that he's able to kind of carry that on. I mean, you played high school hockey, as the majority of the metro area knows, and so it's really nice that you're able to see him mature and get there in the ice.
It has been an absolute pleasure to watch him, to coach him, to see him enjoy it. To see him enjoy baseball as well, to see all the kids enjoying these things. What sports has given me, obviously, I've made it part of my life, but the things that sports gives you at that young age that's the only time you're able to get it. So for these kids to already have it being abbreviated is sad, but the fact that they were able to go out on a win in a special atmosphere. There was a handful of students there that were there to support their seniors. The families were limited, of course, because of restrictions as far as how many fans were in there. It was not a sanctioned event. It was not part of the high school. The high schools had nothing to do with it. The booster clubs put it together. They did a magnificent job, and the kids that were out there deserved to have something like that, just in case there's nothing in front of them.
Yeah, and it really was, and from what I've heard from you, and they did just such a magnificent job of making it a very special night for the kids, because it's really about the kids.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And the booster clubs, both Coon Rapids and Anoka, did a great job of making it a special night for all of the seniors on both sides. But it was extra special for one of the Cardinals seniors. Duncan Ray faced more adversity by the time he was 5 than most of us will face in a lifetime. He fought a battle with cancer and he won. And he never used it as an excuse or asked for special treatment. He just wanted to play the game he loved. Duncan played through youth hockey knowing he would never make a top team, but it didn't matter. He just wanted to play. He wasn't as big or as strong or as fast as many of his teammates, and some worried he might get hurt, but that didn't stop him. In fact, he did suffer a broken collarbone and bantams, but he was right back on the ice as soon as he was able. When he reached high school, Duncan accepted that he couldn't keep up at this level and served as the team manager the past 3 seasons. But on Friday night, not only did Duncan get to be in the senior announcements, getting the loudest cheer from the fans, but he also got to play some regular shifts during the game. I'm sorry that I did not see it when he was out there so that I could make a big deal out of it. I had the privilege of coaching Duncan for 2 years, and he has a great heart, desire, and passion for the game, and it was a deserving honor for him to be out there with his teammates. So if this is the end for the class of 2021, at least it was a special and a memorable end. And Howie, we would have loved to have had you there. It was a special night. I'm so glad. I'm very thankful to our CTN crew that was able to put it together at last minute too, so that we were able to be there. I know that made it extra special for the kids. A lot of these kids, obviously having known them for 10 years and they know who I am, what I do, have been asking for years when they get their chance to be on, on Sports Night. And, at least we got a chance to do one more game before the end.
Oh, what a special young man Duncan was. I did not know his history. I did not know the background until just now. And so it makes it extra special for him to be able to get out there, skate a couple of shifts. And it's emotional for me. And I'm not connected to the program quite the way that you are. But if this is it for a while, it's going to be it for a while. But hopefully in a short period of time, we're back out and we're able to bring you more sports. And just because these kids deserve it, these kids need it. it, and that's something so important in their lives, and we hope it continues very soon.
Yeah, well, let's hope that we are able to be back at this desk before too long. We know that it will be at least the end of December, if not the beginning of January, before we see sports return to Minnesota. We will keep our fingers crossed that it is sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
But that is going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. We want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continue to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I want to thank you for that. And at the end, we're going to leave you with the senior announcements from the Coon Rapids Ice Center on Friday night.
At defense, number 5, Jordan Lakowiak. At defense, number 7, Josh Aker. At forward, captain number 8, Andrew Racine. At forward, number 12, Derek Avery. At forward, number 13, Matt Ellenson. At forward, number 14, Joe Klinsing. At forward, number 16, Vinny Schnabel. At forward, number 18, Alex Billy. At defense, number 19, Garrett Brunette. At forward, captain number 20, Ethan Hansen. At defense, captain number 21, Dominic Espinosa. At forward, number 27, Cole Elfin. At goalie, number 30, Gavin O'Hanlon. At goalie, number 34, Aaron Yund. At forward, number 82, Duncan Ray. And our team manager, Amanda Crotty. Ladies and gentlemen, the Coon Rapids Cardinals class of 2021.